Hello, and welcome to another Thursday Night Magic. Tonight, we are celebrating the actual real release of Historic. Out today, the new Historic Anthology 1 with 20 new cards specific to the Historic format on Magic Arena. As of this morning, it got finished, updated. But there was a maintenance. The maintenance got finished. Then Historic was in the game. I'm Clifford, joined by words are hard. Anyway, I'm here with Roguelink. Rogue, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to all of these new historic cards. A lot of really fantastic build around me cards, and also some really nice cards that just get slotted right into my deck, right into lots of decks. Honestly.
Yeah, they set you up with a knight that just takes the deck you were playing last week and just throws it into overdrive.
Yeah, literally does. Like one of the cards that's in my deck, I can't remember what it's called. It's 4-drop, gives all your knights +1/+1, and for 5, gives all your knights double strike. The new historic card is a 2/2 for 4 that just gives all your knights double strike. Not even other knights, just knights double strike.
Yeah,
It's so good.
double strikes, lots of fun. So to get started,
the flavor text is good too, because Kithkin are known for sort of syncing up with each other, kind of like slivers. It's like left-handed people pair with right-handed people, and they just can both use their right and left hand.
All right, so to kick us off tonight, we have Xel'Naze versus Raikou Rider, featuring, who knows what they've got. It's a brand new format. Look, there's still just the plus right there. Xel'Naze hasn't even selected a deck. It could be anything. It could even be a boat.
It's probably not a boat.
But it's still a mystery box. It's probably not
true.
Crummy.
But Treasure Cruise isn't in the format yet.
Fair enough.
Yes. If Treasure Cruise was legal, I would say that it's possible it could be a boat.
All right. Looks like we're about to get started.
That's true. There are plenty of boats in Historic, now that I think about it. We did just come out of a pirate-fueled standard. I don't know why I immediately went to Treasure Cruise instead of all of the other boats. Clearly, I have Pioneer on the brain.
Clearly. 4-color Dreadhorde is the name of this deck.
What was there ever a 4-color Dreadhorde deck in Standard, or was it mostly 2-3 color?
It was so long ago. I feel like it was mostly 2 or 3 color. There might have been a little 4-color running around.
Seems like, according to chat, there was in fact a 4-color variant running around.
The first, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember much about the deck. I just remember it vomits your entire deck onto the battlefield, essentially. And kills your opponent with a combination of Explore triggers and vomiting your entire deck onto the battlefield. Also very difficult to pilot, if I remember correctly. I never built it myself, but I definitely watched a couple games of it on this channel.
We have one of those old case-sensitive issues striking again. But now, we should be good.
There we go. Let's
It's time
see
for
what
magic.
sort of spice we've got today. Well, opening with a Ranger, Command the Dreadhorde, Murderous Rider, this seems pretty solid.
That seems like a good hand. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have red-white aggro on Raikou Rider's side.
I cannot believe I forgot about Resplendent Angel. I loved that card.
You know, it's easy to forget about them when they're no longer relevant. But now they're relevant again.
Well, I made a joke about Lyra last time, and I totally forgot to make a joke about Resplendent Angel.
Clearly, we know which one you like better.
Two great tastes that taste great together. Speaking of which,
Yep, there we have Lyra. I believe this is some kind of Angels deck.
is there an opposite of a commentator's curse? Because that is what just happened. The problem is Raikou going to be able to get that 5th mana that they need in time?
Just need the one more. That Heraldic Banner. Pretty good card out of the new set.
Yeah, unfortunately the Resplendent Angel's getting destroyed here. Blessed Babbling, Commentator's Blessing. There we go. I like both of those. And there we go. Lyra is coming down. Oh, maybe not yet. Not yet.
No,
Yeah, lightning.
Instead of lightning strike, slightly more reasonable play.
Yeah, that perfectly makes sense. You don't want the Explorer getting off heals and counters and all that good stuff. That Jade Light Ranger was going to come down with a lot of value.
Yes, a ton of value, and now it's just as easy as another. Oh, look at that beautiful Teferi.
You know, I bet Jade Light Ranger would still be played if they were an 0-1 with Explore twice.
I could see that.
Exploring twice is just that good. Here comes Lyra.
Lyra gonna face down a Teferi, and Teferi's gonna win. At least for now.
Yeah, she's gonna come back, but Zelnus is definitely gonna be able to get a significant number of swings. Yeah, I think you're right. This is definitely Boros Angels, without a doubt.
Oh, and another Murderous Rider off the top. That's a good draw.
No one's more prepared than me.
Yeah, Zelnus definitely having all of the answers this time.
Look at those Planeswalkers just refilling the hand very quickly. Oh, another Murderous Rider, but you know, doesn't need that one.
Teferi doing work with that untap.
And we're gonna see the board wipe, taking down creatures, and the Aurelia is gonna meet a swift end. Now, with a couple of lightning bolts, could bolt down one of those Planeswalkers.
Yeah, I definitely think getting rid of those Planeswalkers is going to be key in this deck.
It's going to be kind of bad here when the Dreadhorde comes down and gains a bunch of life and does a bunch of stuff. Oh, yes. Definitely want the Resplendent Angel.
So what we've got 5 Explore triggers, a Wild Growth.
3,
So
6,
that's 15 life.
9.
How much does it cost for each creature again? For Dreadhorde?
per each life mana?
Got it.
So Zonless goes to 1, and then we'll gain a bunch of life.
Oh, and they're gonna make even more angels! Well, fortunately you only get 1 angel made as long as you heal the amount, but... Yeah, Resplendent Angel, definitely the play there. As opposed to Lyra. Speaking of Lyra...
And now we're going to see a very large attack. But how large?
Well, I believe Raiku's going to have enough removal for at least 2 of these.
I mean,
Oh, and Settle.
with the Settle the Wreckage.
I totally missed the Settle until just now.
Raikou Rider doing a good job of playing around the Settle the Wreckage. Just attacking with the 1 Resplendent Angel for now.
Yeah, I think Zelnus definitely has the read on the Settle. Especially now that Raikou hasn't played anything and is at 5 mana. Zelnus knows that the Lyra's in hand, so... It's pretty obvious that Raiku's holding something up right now.
I think you will find my notes helpful.
Tamio's searching for Oko. Not getting it.
Friends
Unfortunately-
forever.
Yeah, unfortunately, binning another Dreadhorde.
This is traditional best of 3 play. And just attacking with the 1 token. Showing much restraint.
Yeah, right now, Zelnus definitely has the advantage. This is the historic format. I believe it's best of 3, correct?
It is. Historic traditional.
No one asked for your input.
Alright. The lightning bolt going towards Tamio.
See, only a handful of Explore triggers that can come down with this, so... Zelnus playing it a bit cautious, but it's just enough to get that Lyra out of the way. And with Raikou tapped out, this is going to be a big swing.
Yes, no fear for the boats to get wrecked all over the dangerous K. Alright, so for game 2.
Noxious Grasp makes sense. Both
Um,
of the color-specific hate cards in here.
So, that doesn't look correct.
Is
A
it
bunch
not
of red over there.
weird? Maybe it's a glitch and it's letting you sideboard for standard?
I-
Although it seemed
I
like
wonder if it'll let him submit the deck. We'll find out in a moment. That's a lot of, shaded dark stuff.
well, it's still 60-60. Seems
All right.
fine.
Cool.
Well, there we go.
If it works, it works. Not gonna question it.
Raikou probably running into the same issue right here. on a related note, it'll be real nice when Arena has a historic specific challenge, because I think that's what's going on right now.
Yeah, there is the historic event going on where you can get cool card styles for the for 5 of the cards that are in the anthology. That's a best of 1 queue. Then they also have the historic traditional ranked going on that takes your constructed rank and lets you use it to play historic best of 3s.
Yeah, that is pretty cool that they have historic ranked. But
Yeah.
it's traditional, so I probably won't jump in on it. I've been doing mostly ranking as a best of 1.
So
I'm
on Monday,
one of those monsters running around with cats. Lots and lots of cats.
on Monday I did a bit of a run up the ladder on new standard with the Golgari Adventures. 4 main deck duress. It was so good.
Oh, nice.
All right,
Speaking of
so-
nice,
So a lot of green blue.
Zelna's with a fantastic curve.
Yeah, Deafening Silence is a pretty good answer. I give it a month.
Until Oko's banned in historic? Maybe.
What was it they called it? They could suspend cards also.
Oh,
You
temporary
might just
suspend
get
them? Yeah, that makes sense.
Suspended for a little while.
Give people some, which I think is pretty neat, like give people a break without it, essentially.
Yes.
And here it comes.
We're gonna give Oko a season off, everyone. Oh, we're gonna see the Resplendent Angel become an elk, or will we? No, we will not. We will see the
Oh, there
Resplendent
we go.
Angel have the will of the gods to be protected from Oko
For a turn.
for exactly long enough to become an elk in a minute. But now, at least Oko can't just trade anything for the Resplendent Angel. That helps.
That's
Don't
true.
trade it too- Yes, now it's an elk jewel.
Yeah, shame that Raikou was just short of being able to make the Angel a 5/5. Costs 6, unfortunately, but the Elk is taking Oko down, which is going to be fantastic.
And unfortunately for Raikou Rider, he's drawn into 3 of the Deafening Silence, which is a card you really want to have one of.
Yeah, definitely in that awkward spot of you want a pretty full set of them to make sure you get that one. But if you draw more than one, then that gets pretty awkward pretty fast.
Very quickly. And more lands. This is a pretty easy Dread Horde here. You can get the Angel, Oko, a Branch Walker, and a Wild Growth Walker to pick up 2 Explore triggers on the Wild Growth Walker.
And Zelna's
Yeah,
had more than enough health to deal with all of that.
And make a food. Because Oko just likes to make some food, because there's nothing to turn into an elk. So now we wait to see. Does Oko just take? Oko can just take the Resplendent Angel.
Yeah, the other thing I just realized too is Deafening Silence is all players.
Yes, yes it is.
And with Raikou Rider having only so much stuff, they couldn't even play that one out. So 2 for Zelnus.
2-0 very quickly for Zelnus.
Angels just couldn't quite get there. Zelnus seemed to have all of the answers. And then Dreadhorde to boot. And also, Dreadhorde, like the Angels in that Dreadhorde, those Dreadhorde pulls were kind of ridiculous. Zelnus was able to get an extra Angel body every single time.
Yes, indeed. Alright, so next we have for you, we have Friday Witch on the top versus Skybills on the bottom. And if you haven't heard, the announcement came down yesterday. Skybills will be playing in the next Mythic Championship coming up here next month. So that's going to be really exciting.
Let's see, looks like Sky has a couple different historic decks. Got Simic Hexproof Classic, Boros Knights, Historic Golgari, Red Rides Again, I approve. I don't know when it was added, but it is nice that they add those little extra highlights to the name to show you what type of deck it is. Although they don't seem to have one for Brawl, unfortunately.
One day, maybe.
Also, I like the fact that one of her decks is just no.
I mean, that sometimes you just have to have a deck that you're going to build and then never play, and you go to it and it just says, no, thank you.
I'm pretty sure it's more about Simic Flash / counter shenanigans.
You think so?
Well, specifically, I'm thinking of... I cannot remember the card. The 4-drop, I want to say. Merfolk counters when it comes into play.
You talking about Mystic Lizard?
Yeah, that's the one. Frilled Mystic, thank you very much.
Yeah, Mystic Lizard. It's like Mystic Snake, but a lizard.
Everyone likes lizard wizards. Even better than bird wizards.
All right.
And I believe we're ready to have everybody just go for it.
Yep, they are ready. Just asked me to make sure we're all good to go. Getting started here.
Curious to see which of these Sky ends up grabbing. There's so many. So many choices.
Decisions. Well, that's a weird error.
I think that might have been because it was an invalid name.
I hope so.
At least looking at what's in chat. I'm sure we'll be able to get started here shortly, though.
We'll get it sorted. That's so weird.
That is pretty weird. Pardon the technical difficulties, everybody. Seems like Sky is having a little bit of trouble starting the match.
Yes, we are. It's the.
There we go.
We have figured out the problem. It
So-
is those
so what's
dang
the-
Mirage basic lands.
So what's this error with the basic lands?
Okay, so the way it works is there's some kind of bug, and it's related strictly to Mirage basic lands. I don't know why it's only the Mirage basic lands, but they are broken right now.
That's so
if you
weird.
have Mirage basics, then your deck is broken for historic.
Huh.
If you have any other basic at all, it'll work.
I mean, clearly the solution is to always use the Rebecca Gway lands. Like, why would you use anything else?
Because the Mirage lands are objectively the best lands on Arena.
I don't know about that. And there we go.
Hey, then just like that, we're into the game. So now we have Sky versus Friday. On the first try, we got it. First try speedrun trick right here. Basic land skip. Mirage skip. I don't know what we
I feel
call
like basic land skip would be pretty rough.
Oh, look, Skybill's also playing Oko. The terror of formats.
To be fair, it is green-blue, so I'm not exactly surprised here.
I mean, of course, you know. If you're playing green blue and not playing Oko, then something has gone horribly wrong. Oh, and look, that other wonderful card that's legal still in this format, Once Upon a Time. A beautiful free spell. A free questing beast right to your hand. What else could you ever want? A Llanowar elf to help cast it faster.
Oh, this is going to be a pretty spicy turn 3.
Yeah, just a tad bit. Especially with that forest off the top, so the Fabled Passage doesn't have to come in tapped.
Yeah, Sky with a slightly slower start, but also getting the ramp off.
Oh yeah, don't worry. As soon as that questing beast attacks, it's gonna get turned into an elk, and then it won't have to worry about bothering Oko anymore. Well, I mean, it might
Questing
bother
Beast has
Oko.
so many words on it.
There are a lot of words.
Unfortunately, none of those words are hexproof.
Now, see, now it has no words. It just says elk. Oh, from all of those many words to just elk.
It's now a 3-headed elk.
A bunch of X's on top of whatever's in the deal. Has been silent. Wait, no, it hasn't. That's something totally different. Alright, well, now everyone is attacking Oko.
So the question is, how much does Sky care about the ramp? And it seems like Sky cares about the ramp more than Oko.
Especially in a situation where, you know, Oko's probably going to die anyway. You might as well just let them all over-damage it a little bit and...
That is perfectly fair. And 2 hybrid, 2 Krasis on Sky's side.
We're going to see the first one. Maybe? Maybe not? Ah, the Vine Mare.
Nope.
Decisions,
We're going back to the crisis. There we go. Nice and spicy.
That's still a lot of power over on Friday, which is side. And the trade out with the Jade Light Ranger that's slightly bigger.
Yeah, Friday with just an unstopping barrage here.
Just another Jade Light Ranger after another Jade Light Ranger after another Jade. There's so many Jade Light Rangers. Now we're in a situation where the Paradise Druid trades up, and the Divine Bear trades down. Like,
Yeah, that is the
Lots of-
unfortunate thing about Vine Mare is it does tend to trade down.
hey, trades are trades. Unfortunately, looking at it, it doesn't matter. I guess the Crisis gains some life, buys another turn before it will get exiled. Sky will get to draw 2 cards.
Yeah, and from Sky's perspective too, this is going to be a real good block.
Oh, it is a real.
4/4 blockers just enough. But unfortunately, that contempt is going to make it go away.
Yes. Unfortunately, the Vraska's Contempt just says, hey, by the way, you had a creature. Now it's gone. Now I'm going to hit you right in the face for 4 damage.
And
Look
I
out.
don't think Sky has anything to stop this onslaught.
The goose gains life.
I did not realize Once Upon a Time could get creatures. For some reason, I thought it was just land.
Oh no, it's completely and totally broken in half, and that's why they had to ban it.
I guess I only saw people get land with it.
No, it either gets the main character of your story, or Once Upon a Time in the far off land of Agrabah. Then you get desert. Oh well, okay. Rankle makes all of it kind of,
Yeah, Sky just doesn't have enough blockers here.
like can block the Rankle, and then we'll still go to 1. Gets another turn, but Rankle being in the air.
Yeah, the Vine Mare's not going to be enough to block here.
And another land off the top. It's all up to whatever Narset can find. Do we have Plummet? Well, there's Oko. We can turn Rankle into an elk. Elk,
Unfortunately, the Elk is still a 3/3.
but it doesn't fly anymore.
This is true. And that's going to do it for game 1. So interesting. It seems like Sky's sideboard seems fine. Very weird.
That's so weird. So very quickly, Narset is gone. Narset out. And we're back. Back to it.
And it looks like Friday is still sideboarding away. Curious to see what they're going to bring to the table.
We will find out. All right, so 2 lands that come into play tapped, but Once Upon a Time, it just lets you. It's so good. Cast it for free. Next turn, even you could cast it for free after drawing that land if you really wanted to. And there are two of the cards that are in the new anthology, both Hypnotic Spectre and Phyrexian Arena. Both wonderful, great cards that I'm glad to be able to play with on Arena.
Yeah, Phyrexian Arena is a classic black card. Constantly take damage, constantly draw more cards.
I remember when there was a debate on which was better, that or Bob, and man,
Bob is pretty good.
all right. Oko going to make a food. We're not turning the Wild Growth Walker into an elk just yet. I might have.
Well,
But-
fortunately, Friday is off the double green, so it does make sense here.
Yeah, Friday not finding that third land. You just don't want to be putting +1/+1 counters on that. I'd give it the +2/+0 bonus so that it doesn't get bigger than that and stops gaining life. But, here's a wolf that can just eat it anyway, and we don't have to worry about turning it into an elk because the wolf
There we go.
just fights things. And that's mean.
Gotta get that
mean.
extra ramp. Keep your opponent off that mana. And Friday with a lot of double black, double green 3-drops in hand. That's gonna be really rough.
That's well, hey, Friday can now gain 3 life with that food.
Doesn't it cost 3 mana to do that?
No, it's only 2. It gains 3 life.
Ah, okay. 3 life, 2 mana. That makes. I don't think I've ever seen someone use a food to gain life. It's always to do shenanigans.
Hey, there it is. Gaining life. I don't know about you guys, but I think we might see a game 3 here.
And there we go. Friday getting the 3rd land. Let's see. They could be particularly aggressive and play both Phyrexian Arenas, just all the card draw. Don't know if that would be a good idea or not.
Hey, another wolf. A wolf is
Yeah,
gonna sacrifice and get bigger and
Yeah, these wicked wolves doing work.
now a large attack sets up lethal. I don't think there's anything Friday can do, as evidenced by the good game. Oh, a duress. I love duress. It's such a great card. Murderous Rider is going to kill Oko. And that will wrap us up for game 2 and send us on to game 3.
There we go. Good to see a game 3. These decks are pretty closely matched. I'm not sure if Friday would have been able to run away with that with all of the card advantage from Phyrexian Arena if the 3-drops started just coming in one after the other, but that was an incredible play by Sky, keeping Friday off of 3 mana.
Yeah, like, oh, hey, I see that you missed a land drop. Let me give you this food. Here's a gift. Instead, I'm going to take your Llanowar Elf. Ha ha ha. That was...
It also didn't help that Friday didn't find any land for a couple turns there.
So
And
now we
here
have
we go.
Sky on down to 6 cards, and Friday with the Fabled Passage to start. Fabled Passage is one of my favorite, like, what's the word? Like, I really love the way it's designed. Like, I love the design of the card. So, do you take the Vivian or the Nissa? That was quickly answered. You take the Nissa. Ooh. A couple of Wicked Wolves,
Yeah, so Wicked Wolves did a lot of work last time.
but with no blue sources yet.
Exactly. No blue cards in hand, but you do want to make sure you have that blue when Oko does eventually show up.
The Paradise Druid does give you some blue, but it's not a permanent blue, and better to be safe than sorry, I guess. All right. Is it Questing Beast time? I think it's Questing Beast time.
Coming right in.
Vivian coming down to murder the Questing Beast using a Vine Mare. Another
Unfortunately
Questing
for
Beast.
Sky, exactly. We've got another Questing Beast. Back-to-back Questing Beasts.
This Questing Beast will get revenge on Vivian for its compatriot.
Now
and
Friday's going to have to contend with big ol' Nissa, who shakes the world.
Decisions. Going to let the Vine Mare through. And Nissa in stained glass will come out and bring a forest to fight. On Friday, getting the Great Hinge out and putting it on a Wild Growth Walker. Using it to cast a Wild Growth Walker. That's a pretty big play right there. The Hinge, giving +1/+1 counters to creatures. Questing Beast runs into that forest. Oh, and see, this is where it all shines. Nissa going to facilitate a 10 power toughness Hydroid Crisis.
And we're going to have another one next turn.
That's power right there. Now Garrick is probably coming down. Oh, the duress will hit the other Nissa, and you'll get to see there's another Crisis there. So perhaps now the Murderous Rider will ride to destroy this Crisis, and Garrick will come down to defeat the next one. What a standoff we have.
Yeah, lots of back and forth this match.
This has been a
Sky
fun one.
does have a bit of card advantage here, but unfortunately it's mostly lands.
All right, the
Friday
Questing
with
Beast
lots of
coming
answers.
in.
And getting blocked by the Mare.
That's a trade. Trade, not really a trade down, but better to do that than watch Nissa take a bunch of damage. And Nissa will facilitate an even larger Crisis this time.
12 drop Crisis. This is why they added the +5 button, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. And
And then two more, the other two Crisis.
now, this is just getting ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. Now there are
I don't think I've ever seen 4 Crisis back to back to back to back. Certainly not ones this big.
Yeah, right. Like, all right. So now, do you? I guess Murderous Rider, the answer.
Yeah, and Friday, I wouldn't be surprised if Friday is pretty confident here, constantly having answers for these Crisis, but unfortunately you can have 4 of each card in your deck. Crisis on Infinite Earths, oh, that's a good one. top tier content there.
This guy also has that Hadana's Climb, which, you know, can flip over if any one of those creatures gets.
Yeah, Sky has multiple ways to give these creatures enough counters. You've got the lands, you've got the Krasis.
Like at the beginning of combat, she can just boing, and then yeah, now it has flipped, and now it is dangerous. And that's a lot of attackers coming in that can just.
Oh, that's right. And because the lands have vigilance, she can even tap the lands for mana, and that's gonna be it. Only one blocker, 8 in the air, 5 on the ground. Big damage.
That will win match 2 for Skybills. 2-1 on the back of that Hadana's Climb. That was a fun game.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
Like that was a lot of fun.
And who do we have up next, Clifford?
I think we're gonna have these two give us a show with one more with a couple of different decks that they've got. What do you think? You think that sounds like fun?
Yeah, that always sounds good.
All right. All right. So let's reset.
Reset those numbers and see what kind of chaos we get for these second set of decks. Looking forward to seeing another set of decks in action for sure.
All right. Get them going one more time here. Oh, yes. Sky has to also change lands again. Because Mirage. So, Roguelink,
Yes.
outside of the Kinsbale Cavalier for your Knights deck, what card are you most excited to be in the format in Historic out of the new set of 20?
So in terms of decks that I've played before, it's Goblin Matron. I've been playing, literally my first deck ever was Gobos. All the Gobos. So much Gobos. My first rare was a Goblin King.
Goblin
I've been playing
Matron
Goblins for years.
is also my favorite card in the set. Like I love it so much.
Now, in terms of my new sensibilities, Phyrexian Arena is pretty good.
Phyrexian Arena is also excellent. Those are both great cards. Like Matron is what I've been playing with the most. I'll be honest. Like I'm loving this goblins deck I've got together.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to crack open my Historic Knights deck for the event that's going on. Speaking of knights,
We have a bunch of knights, but no way to really cast them.
oh no! Well, this is gonna have to work. Bring back Goblin Grenade. Oh yeah.
Oh, that would be great. I would, yes, please. I would be on board.
Speaking of which, has anyone built a Dark Steel Engine Proliferate deck yet?
I haven't.
Cause that seems spicy.
Yo, we have Rogue Link in Sky's hand right there. There's the Cavalier.
Excuse you, Clifford. I am way too big to ride a goat.
You just need to be a large goat, is all.
Yeah, unfortunately, the tournament grounds do not work on History of Benalia because History of Benalia is not a knight.
No, while it makes knights, it is not a knight itself. And
I've run into this problem multiple times trying to cast Adventures.
like I could see that.
What is it? The one white knight that has the tap 2 adventure.
Oh
Definitely
yeah.
run into problems with that.
So the
We've got
Marauding
Marauding
Raptor
Raptors.
gonna make things cheaper.
And we've got a Galta, another classic from the previous standard.
And we have a bunch of double strikey knights.
Yeah, the 3 power is going to be just enough here. Although, fortunately, Sky has 2 3-power knights. Yeah, Galta with Burning Tree Emissary is pretty top tier. Not to mention that spicy Embercleave in hand. Collision
You know what?
Colossus. This deck has got to have a thud.
You know what else goes great with Burning Tree Emissary?
Actually, I think this is the deck that Friday used against me last week. What goes great with Burning Tree Emissary?
Steamkin.
Oh man, I was not thinking about that. That's really good.
It's lots of fun. It's lots and lots of fun.
Man, I really want Sky to get that second white source and just start running away with this.
All right,
Friday
we have
setting up for some real big dinos.
the Raptor and a Galta that can come down next turn.
Sky with the legendary double strike
Yes.
right now.
These knights are now actually really good basketball players. And you can
So
see
here's a
all the
question.
cards Friday's drawing with between the Raptor and that arena.
So much card advantage here with another Raptor. Now here's a question, Clifford. Do you play the second Phyrexian arena? Like, how good is a second Phyrexian arena on board? Is that too much?
At this stage, I wouldn't play it, but it like you get a little bit of control over the board, then I would.
Speaking
Oh.
of control over the board, Sky got that second planes that she was
Sacred
looking
Foundry
for.
is huge. We're gonna have more nights for more days, and days and nights. But first,
Galta finally coming in. There we go.
3 mana.
That's gonna hold
Galta.
back those knights.
That will be a large wall that even the most double strikey of Sky's Knights currently can't really handle. Now next turn they'll be a little braver.
Unfortunately, the history only gives +2/+1, I believe.
Yeah,
So
they
there's-
won't be quite brave enough, but they'll be braver.
They'll be able to clear everything else, so I think Sky's definitely going to crack in here.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of damage coming in next turn.
Ooh, though Friday's swinging in here.
And that
Curious to see how
Galta,
Sky blocks here.
Galta's about to get an Ember Cleave. And
Oh, that's right.
then a Colossus, both. A Colossal.
Yeah, I was not
Ember
thinking
Cleave
about the
Galta.
Ember Cleave and the Colossus. Wait, double Colossus? Double Colossus and Ember Cleave? Oh, that's... Oof.
Well,
Yeah, that'll do it.
that's certainly one way to win a game. Double Colossus on your already 12/12 dinosaur. Right? 12/12, 8/8. How big is Galta?
Galta starts as a 12/12
12/12, right? Yeah.
and was a 2020
Got
trampoline
+8.
double strike, I think.
Yeah. Just got +8 power. I know what I'm talking about most of the time, right? Sorry.
Also, flavor faux pas. How does Galta hold a sword?
Like it just can't stab you with it really well. She's got to hold it and like I guess stab you with the pointy end. Is it like if you get close?
See, here's the problem though. She'd have to wield it like a toothpick
Yeah, exactly.
because her hands are too small, and if she just holds it in her mouth, she'll just swallow the thing, just like in between her teeth.
Like a 1950s greaser. It's we solved it, Roguelink.
Sky with the turn 1 Fervent Champion. Very spicy.
Yeah, that's a fun little attacker. Boost up your other
I built a
knights.
mono red Knights deck really early on in the standard, where Champion was basically the front runner of that.
I could see that. Fervent champions and worthy knights, they're all like adjective nouns on Sky's side.
Wizards does love their adjective nouns.
We have another adjective noun coming down right here. An inspiring knight. Oh, and Sky getting that 4th land. The Kinsbale Cavalier turning on all the other creatures. And now the
Oh,
Worthy
right,
Knight
and the
gets
champion being
boost.
able to toss around that +1/+0.
One adjective boosting another noun. That's a lot of damage right there. You got 12 damage just swinging in.
We've got nouns verbing other nouns here. It's pure chaos.
And we
Man, that
see-
Cavalier is really good.
Yes, Kinsbale Cavalier is excellent.
And not only that, but history coming down next turn, I'm sure.
You don't think they want to play more basketball? Oh, and the Marauding Raptor killing one of Friday's creatures. Yeah, we're just going to see an all-out attack. Doesn't matter where the blocks come in. Without some kind of anything, that will be it.
And there we go.
And
One
that-
and one again.
that
We're
will
going to
take us
see
to another
another game 3.
A couple of good games here to end the night, showing off the awesome format that is this brand new historic format on Magic the Gathering
think-
Arena.
I was hesitant about historic, but adding these special cards are adding just enough spice. Like, they're not forcing you to build decks around them, but they add just enough to really put a lot of decks over the edge.
Yeah, like there's all sorts of cool, awesome things, and I can play a Goblins deck that makes me feel like I'm playing Extended from 15 years ago, and it just is so good. It's the best. Really like
One
12.
day Goblin King will come back. Bring back Mountain Walk.
Bring back Mountain Walk.
Because that's a fair
Hashtag.
mechanic, right?
Yo, nothing like a 1-mana Rotting Regisaur that can be hastified. Now it's just a pure race.
Wait, I just realized something. Has anyone played a Rotting Regisaur in a Dread deck yet?
In a what deck?
In a Dread Horde deck yet?
Oh, I don't know.
Because that seems kind of spicy.
We have another 7 attack coming in. It's just gonna get chumped or not get chumped.
Math is for blockers here. Unfortunately, there seem to be some missed math. But we've got another Cavalier.
Another
Dropping down
Kinsman
that double strike.
with the double strike. Can trade straight up with the Regisaur. And another discard. Oh, well. You look like we're going to discard it. Then we'll just draw another one. Why not? Sure. This guy's going
Guy
to
opting
sacrifice.
to go for the double block here. Yep. Or the block with the double strike.
And unfortunately, on Friday's side, it's a really awkward situation of only 2 lands, but neither the correct colors to be able to cast Ember Cleave if you got the blockers or the attackers, or a Galta without the double green. And now Sky with all of the lands on the other side.
Friday definitely setting up for the kill they had last game.
And the Worthy Knight will make a token as the Benalish Marshal comes down, and the adjective noun will hit the board with haste.
Haste and first strike and being able to pump one of these other attackers. It's ridiculous.
And now we're going to see the Colossus come through on one of these creatures. I would assume. I would assume we'll see. Yeah, the Worthy Knight is probably. Oh no. We're not going to get the Colossus. We're going to save the Colossus for. Interesting.
Maybe saving
Oh.
it for the crackback.
That's very possible. We found the 3rd land. Fortunately, the Flame Sweep is only going to hit the tokens right now.
Claimed contender fishing up Ooh, veteran or cavalier, both good choices.
I think you take the Cavalier because you can play the land and cast it. And that just is
That's going to be too much beef.
it's just a lot all at once.
Every single one of these knights, all of them riding goats. Really, it's the goats that give the double strike.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
The goat hits you first with the rams, the horns of the goat, and then the knight hits you with the sword. It all makes sense.
And Sky taking it home, swinging with a ludicrous amount of damage. Good game to both.
Good game to everybody who played tonight. That will bring us to the end of another Thursday Night Magic. We're gonna be off next week because it's some kind of holiday in the U.S. Something about turkeys.
Yeah, it's Black Friday.
Yeah, the pre-Black Friday meal that everyone has to. We have to have a meal to get ready to go out and fight other shoppers to the death for an Xbox One.
Yeah, the preemptive Black Friday where you fill up so that you don't have to eat the next day while waiting in line during actual Black Friday. Exactly, Black Friday's Eve, as Chad says.
It's the annual Black Friday Eve binge. But week after that, we'll be back. We'll probably go back to standard. You know, bring it back to something a little straightforward, more fun. Like
And Oko
now-
was standard.
now that Oko is banned, we've had one big tournament, the Rivals, this past week to kind of showcase the new format. Give it another couple of weeks, give some tournaments. It'll shake it out a little more. I probably won't be packing 4 main deck duress anymore at that point, but you know, you never know. But yeah, I hope everyone does have a happy Thanksgiving. I wanted to say a happy Hanksgiving, but like this has nothing to do with Mr. Hanks. He's not involved at all. But yeah, we'll get out of here now. We'll get out of your hair. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday and a great weekend. And we'll see you soon.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye.